Today, ride along with me and acclaimed journalist Gary Sernovitz as we tour homes and neighborhoods in Coconut Grove. In particular, we're going to be exploring the homes that are most attractive to all of the Northeasterners that have been flooding Coconut Grove. So this is sort of starts the North Grove residential stuff.
Yeah.
So just to, like right off the bat, this is the kind of product they want to buy.
And when was that built?
These are all been built in the last 4 years maximum. We're going to just pop in this little quiet street here.
Yeah.
So this street, these are all the tropical modern homes, as we call it. We have a lot more of this, but this is the new product that everybody's building for them. But I mean, this is what this neighborhood looked like my whole life.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you grew up here.
And I grew up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to actually drive by because my street is a perfect example of what happened. So here we have a stretch of kind of just, this is kind of just what it has looked like forever.
Right. How long does this take to get to down?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So my parents lived on this street, and I'll show you what's happened. So, and they bought here in 1968, so they could get home in 10 minutes, and you can still get home in 10 minutes.
And they work downtown.
Yeah, work downtown. Yeah, my dad worked downtown. So like these two streets I'm going to show you now, the lots are 3 times the size of the lots we just saw.
Got it.
So this was I grew up on this street, my favorite street in the Grove, because the trees are just, the canopy here is insane.
So this is
Alfred Browning Parker, that's our favorite architect. Yeah, so I grew up with, this is kind of house, everything was one story basically when I was a kid here, on these big 20,000 square foot lots. So like, and these are the largest lots in North Grove. So this is that's the larger version and the more richer version of the.
And how much that's?
This was an end user, so it doesn't count. But if it was on the market now, it would be 10+ million.
Got it.
So it's almost double because again, you got triple the land, which allows you to build almost double the size of house, right? So I'm going to show you.
And they all have courtyards with pools. That's kind of
pools in the backyard.
The smaller ones have everyone.
Yeah, everyone in the street had a pool. Yeah. So,
what was like the origin of white box versus any other?
It started actually in South America.
Yeah.
And because most of the people at the time that were the higher end people were South Americans here, right? And the builders were South American.
Got it.
And so that's where it came from. So they were built, the people, and for a builder, and so I grew up here.
Okay.
So, I had a little 1-story ranch, 4-bedroom that I grew up on. And now.
It was that, did they tear down your house?
They tore down my house. Yeah.
They got it. You don't want to buy it? And
no. So my parents passed away a long time ago, 18 years ago.
Right.
And so they paid $70,000 for it in 1968. And then I sold it. So when they passed away, the taxes, because we had homestead on it, right? So homestead in Florida prevents the escalation of your taxes.
Yep.
Maximum 3% per year, but it cannot be passed. That savings can't be passed from generation to generation.
Okay.
So my dad died, passed the savings to my mom, but then when my mom died, the taxes went from $6,000 to $42,000 overnight, and we sold it the next day. Like I was, I had just started my career and everything. I was hoping to live here, and now this guy's going to build a house here, and then he bought a second lot. So this dirt now would be worth probably $5 million.
Got it.
And then he bought this one. And he knocked this one down, and he's going to have an acre. He's going to build the house here, and then he's just going to make this a big park for his kids.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Live peacock.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of peacocks. After Andrew, the hurricane, they got out of the zoo, and they just proliferated like rats. They're everywhere. There's a big one right there.
Like, what do you give? Like, just like a regular kind of original house here? Like, how long do you give these people before they just give up and sell to guys like this?
It's the Grove is funny because there's like the Grove and the Gables are very different. I know you're probably not going to get to tour the Gables, but the Gables has much more regulatory around how you can keep your house and maintain your house, and so the houses are in much better shape.
Yeah.
So here there is a huge amount of people still that have kind of been here a long time, stopped spending money on their houses.
Right.
But I mean, with the price of land going up so fast, I think this is only going to get faster. To be honest with you, and the numbers that these guys are getting. Like I have this lot where you see my sign up here. So this lot is 21,000. We're asking 3.5, but the reason is behind here is US 1, which is a busy artery.
Got it.
So it backs up onto that.
But the person will tear down that.
Yeah, they're going to tear down that house and build one of those things you just saw there.
And how long would that take?
Here.
Someone bought it today.
If someone bought it today, they could be living in it in 2.5 years.
Okay.
If they're fast, so we're actually putting a contract on this one right here. So like the oak tree, they'll have to build the whole house around the oak tree. You see the rendering? The tree, you're not allowed to cut down oak trees here.
All right.
Unless they're sick. So that has some value into how the house can be built. So that's sort of what steers our pricing a little bit, is being on great streets, of course, but also being a clear, easy buildable lot.
Yeah.
Right. So here is the largest example of what I've just been showing you that has been built. And then again, both these two streets are the most desirable at North Coconut Grove. This is called Amafla, that was called Seminole. Here's one, everybody's just going along. That one's been a couple years old, but there's a brand new one that's gonna be on the market here. And they're gonna list this one for $16 million. It's over 10,000 square feet. I mean, it looks like the Taj Mahal. So this is gonna come on the market at around, I think they're gonna ask 16 is what I heard. Over 10,000 square feet of livable inside air-conditioned space with a 20,000 square foot lot. So that's the big boys. Coconut Grove does not have sidewalks.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Coral Gables, they have sidewalks everywhere.
Yeah.
There was Coconut Grove was kind of built before they really knew they were going to build a city here.
Yeah.
It was like the first part of Miami because we were by the water, and that's how I got here.
Yeah.
Coral Gables was built from the beginning, like with a plan.
Yeah.
Right. The Grove had no plan. So the city, to remedy no sidewalks, every time you build a new home, they make you put a sidewalk.
Okay.
They don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
So the hope is that in 50 years, there'll be all new homes and there'll be sidewalks. And they won't pay for it. So like something like this being built, this is about an $8 million house.
Yeah. Sidewalk.
Sidewalk. You're gonna have sidewalks. All these, anything you can tell fairly how old something is by whether or not there's a sidewalk in front of it. So like, and if you do a certain amount of renovation to your house, sidewalk. But it's silly because sometimes you literally just see one house on the whole street with a sidewalk and nothing else.
And like how much like sort of political autonomy does Coconut Grove have relative to Miami-Dade? And
I mean, it has a lot because it's their biggest tax base probably.
yeah.
Coconut Grove, Miami, people don't realize that Miami-Dade County is huge, right?
Right.
The city of Miami is one of the poorest cities in the United States. But when you think of in Miami, like that downtown Brickell and here, we're their main tax base.
Right.
So I think probably get a better service and get away with a little more here.
Right. Would you have like a Coconut Grove City Council? And
Coconut Grove is not a city.
Okay,
so
got it.
it's Coconut Grove is a village.
Village.
It's a name of an area inside of Miami.
Got it.
So we are Miami proper. On the way back, Miami's run out of Coconut Grove.
Got
so
it.
Miami City Hall is in Coconut Grove.
Okay, got it.
So we're gonna pull there. I'm gonna show you that on the way in. It's kind of an interesting story. So we have like Coconut. This area has its own representative on the city council,
Right.
But it's not. It's on the city council of Miami.
Got it.
Coconut Grove has a couple like groups that get together, but they have no legal authority to
Got
make
it.
any decisions. Twice there was a major push to annex, to leave,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't get the right amount of people to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of cities have left, like South Miami and Pinecrest. They were all Miami at one point in time,
Got it.
and then became their own municipalities. We just couldn't figure out how to do it, and they didn't want to let it happen, of course,
Yeah.
from a tax-based standpoint. So this is sort of the edge of our town.
Yeah.
Ritz-Carlton has been here forever. This is all going to knock down. It's
Got it.
all going to be developed. You can only go 5 stories in the village here, so it'll be like a newer building. This is offices, but they're going to put residents over here.
Yeah.
And they're going to be geared towards these people that we're talking about.
Got it.
Almost going to have some like brownstones and mixed stuff like that. So the part that you were in with me just now, the north part, was developed much later, so it's much more organized. When I get you to where we're going to go, the roads were literally where the buggies went.
Got it.
Right? If there was a tree, they just went around it, right?
Yeah.
It was, so you'll see a drastic difference in terms of over there, every street was straight, and everything was, if you looked at it from above, it would be, perfectly linear.
Right.
And then South Grove was literally horse and buggy carriages. Like my house is a carriage house to a big house back in the day. So this is sort of the heart of the Grove here.
And was this like originally like early 20th century, some New Yorker with asthma kind of built a mansion down here? Is that kind of the origin?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. A lot of people from up north, they came down here to get away from, different things. And
Yeah. Mainly big estates.
mainly big estates.
Got
Yeah,
it.
the Peacock Estate, the Monroe Estate, all the big players had estates down here.
Yeah.
So this is all shopping, restaurants. Just sort of, Cocoa Walk is the heart of the Grove, so it's the center. This has been remodeled and made modern, and this just reopened again about 2 years ago. So this whole area here is full of shops and restaurants and movies and all that stuff. And then we're on Main Highway, so this is like ground zero for our little village right here. And then you have shopping and mom and pop stuff. We don't have a lot of big chains. We have mostly mom and pop. The water's down there. We'll see the water on the way back.
Yeah.
But this is it right here. And because of COVID and because of all these guys, the level of restaurants has been moving. Now we have Michelin stars and we have all this stuff.
When you grew up,
Nothing like it was just like hippie little villages, burger joints.
Yeah.
So back where we were, Cocoa Walk, that's kind of a lot of tourists will be there, more tourists. Then we get this way, it's a little more locals.
Got it.
This is my breakfast spot. I eat breakfast at Green Street every day of my life for 20 years.
All right.
This is all restaurant.
What do you get?
I get fruit salad and a bagel or something like that. I have a meeting every morning at 9 there. So. And then we have the Barnacle, which is one of the original houses, the Monroe family estate. And as fast as you blinked, you were out of downtown Coconut Grove. No, it's really very, very small community.
But like compares like Greenwich. Yeah. That's sort of like
exactly.
everything.
Yeah. It's like a Greenwich or a Carmel or exactly. So up and down here you have gated communities, a bunch of billionaires live. All of these. This goes all the way down to the water on this side.
What's that called?
That's Camp Biscayne.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go by another one called the Moorings. I'll show you here. Here's Ransom High School. So Ransom bought this plot of land just for a parking lot for $11 million.
Okay.
And then here's Ransom. So one of the obviously, and they own from here all the way to the water.
Yeah, I talked to a guy on the board who's like probably the most valuable high school football field.
No, you kick the ball and it goes in the water. I mean, it's ridiculous.
How many houses can you put on the football field? If you were going to offer them a football field, they offer them for the football field.
If they could sell that off,
yeah,
they would probably be able to put 10 really high-end homes there, easily.
Yeah.
So now we're in South Grove. So you're gonna have more foliage, windier old streets. This is the center of everything that happens right here. This Plymouth Church, this is where pretty much everybody gets married, everybody gets buried. It's a pretty striking church, actually. But you'll start to see what I mean about the roads when I wind you around back here. Yeah, that's a gorgeous shot. I mean, that is.
And when was this built?
If it was early 1900s or late 1800s.
Right
around. I mean, very, very old.
This is like early millionaire settlers kind of funded the church.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it was. How are you, my man? Everything good? Life is good. How about you? Good. Yeah, so all the roads here were windy. The trees are more mature. They were. So like this is one of the better streets, just because you could walk into town.
Yeah.
You paid just under 9.5 for that. And that's a slightly different version of the modern box that they're building now. Yeah. And then here's another one. This is an end user friend of mine. He built this for himself, but that just got built. That has a little more. You see, sometimes they'll put stone or wood to kind of give it a softer feel.
Yeah.
Show you where the big players all want to be.
Did you always want to do real estate? Like, how'd you end up in real estate?
I bought a house from my friend. I was a professional bum, fully admitted. I tried everything not to have a real job. I've never worn a tie or a suit jacket in my life.
Yeah.
And I was going to get married, and I bought a house from my friend, and he was the realtor. And it was back in a time when there was low inventory, so he showed me 2 houses, and I bought one. And he got paid $15,000. 30 days later, I'm like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's literally how I got my license. No one ever, unless your parents do real estate, ever thought about being a realtor.
Yeah.
Until they were in their 30s, probably.
Right.
I was 35 at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a people guy, and the lure of having my own schedule, right, and all of that. I always, my dad was an attorney, worked downtown. He worked 12 hours every day of his life, and I didn't want that life. So if you can make it work, it's the best job in the world.
And how'd you build like such a big business?
Yeah, my wife joined me pretty early on, and she started helping me out, writing. And so my business took off when I started focusing just on Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
And then we were, when blogging was first the thing, we had the first blog in South Florida. And we just blogged about real estate in Coconut Grove. My wife wrote an article every day for like 5 years.
Yep.
And everybody then was finding us organically before there was a Zillow and before. And we were just talking about price per square foot, and that's what sold. And we became the information source. So this is kind of an old cool street here.
And how long would this take you to go downtown?
From here now, you're going to be 25 minutes to 30 minutes.
Still not that bad.
It's not terrible, though.
Yeah.
So then that started just sending so many people my way that I couldn't work with that many buyers. So then I added a buyer's agent here and a buyer's agent there. And then I kind of got known for helping mentor people how to grow their business, and more people want to come. And now we have 40.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. And I can go away for 3 weeks and the whole thing just keeps on running and people buy houses and people sell houses, which is an amazing thing in our business because usually when you go away, it's a nightmare. So this is what I told you, like when their tree was in the way, they just went around it.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of what you would not see in North Grove.
Right. What kind of tree is that?
Banyan tree. Massive banyan tree. All right, so this street here, Kiora, is where the bosses all want to live, right up here, this street here. So what makes this street unique is it's got double lots, so they have acres. It's really the only street with consistent 1 acre properties. These are massive properties here, like, you know, at least an acre, which is 40,000. For whatever reason, the zoning, they zoned bigger lots here back in the day. I don't know why that happened, but now this is what they're building, hotels.
Got it.
Like literal hotels.
And how many
This one's going to come to market at 20 million.
And like how many bedrooms does that have?
They're going to be probably 8 or 9 up to 10.
Yeah.
With staff quarters and all that kind of stuff. And again, they're on a full acre, which is unheard of. And you're surrounded by people on acres, right? Like this guy he was a partner with my dad, so he was like one of the biggest lawyers in town. He owns a big one. And then they just finished this crazy, very wacky looking thing.
Yeah.
Very, very modern. That was an end-use guy.
And end use is like when you build it yourself?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. You buy the lot.
But New Yorkers aren't doing that. Those are locals.
Most of them. I mean, now they're starting to because they've been here longer.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, the first wave, no, because they just had to get here. Right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's amazing, that tree, yeah. So the first wave just had to get here. Like, how do I get here? You know? And then we are now seeing them, oh, I love it here. I'm not going back ever. Right? There was that test period's over.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing that happen now. And so some of them now are starting to buy and hire famous architects and start building.
Is that new, like, kind of named architects around here? Or?
I mean, there's a couple named architects. Max Strang.
Yeah.
He's for the Grove. He's like one of the most popular. Who else would I say they would be using? Caesar Molina.
Yeah.
Is the other one, and he's probably the most popular now with this particular product.
But like water and beach is not really a part of it.
Well, we're going to go to water right now.
Okay, but that in general, like in Coconut Grove, that's not a part of people's life.
There's no beach here.
No beach.
There is limited water access.
Got it.
The houses that are on the water now are, I think, you're talking straight ocean water. You'd be looking at 40 million nowadays, probably. I'm going to show you the biggest house.
And like,
biggest lot.
Your kids, how often do they go to the beach?
Never.
Never. Like, that's not like my.
My parents took me to Naples as a kid, so that's kind of what I do.
Got it.
But we never go to the beach here. No.
Yeah.
But also we're big boaters, so we don't need a beach. We have that.
Yeah.
So like we go right next to my office is where my boat is in the water.
Got it.
So that's our beach, basically.
Yeah.
But most people here are not going to Miami Beach, going hanging out.
Right.
That's really not a thing here.
They're going to the Hamptons. That's the beach.
Now they're going to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Yep. They used to all go to North Carolina. Now they go to the Hamptons.
And are you getting many empty nesters down here, or is this mainly?
No, we are still getting some.
Yeah.
We definitely are. And it's interesting because a lot of the Grove is a small place, right? So I know so many people here. I'm starting to hear the narrative of people are moving here because their friends have already moved here and they told them about it.
Yeah.
So it's like that rippling wave is getting ever expanding of who knows this little secret lifestyle that we have.
Yeah.
Where it's casual, but you're right. Literally and really the average home is only $1,000 a foot.
Yeah.
Which is so much cheaper than price per square foot in any other major city.
Yeah.
To be that close to downtown.
Yeah.
New construction now, we just hit $1,500 a foot, just for your knowledge. I mean, literally, we just had 2 of them go at $1,500 a foot. So, I think the vibe is really attracted a lot of people here. The things that people talk about, just so like the foliage, the green, having a walkable little village, right, is nice. Obviously, the schools are a huge driver. I'm sure you figured that out if you're talking to somebody at Ransom.
Yeah. And it seems like that in the average imagination of a guy, the first week he's thinking about Miami, he's thinking about Ransom. It seems like for a Wall Street guy.
Those guys are thinking about schools. Absolutely. Yeah. If we had more schools, we would have more of them.
Yeah.
There are some that don't come because they can't get in.
Yeah.
And our schools have been, for the most part, trying their best to resist the temptation of the thing, like trying to stay true to who they are and not give away, everybody from New York gets in, right?
Because you could do it. You could sell every
They
slot.
could sell every slot for 4 times what they wanted to. Honestly,
Yeah.
could. Right now, at Ransom, 100% they
Yeah.
could. But they want to, the alumni and the kids, and the sisters and brothers. They want that's sort of what they're built on.
They come to you for parent donations. You're like, you have a guy who's willing to...
They have new money, new blood, and a lot of the schools are older and they need some capital. So here's one of the best streets in the South Grove here. It's called St. Gaudens. So that's the main road back into town right there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to show you this monstrosity being built down here. Nobody knows who. It's all triple, quadruple secret.
Yeah.
But it's a cool. This street has some of the original homes on it. This is one of the original homes. Like the old, can't really see it well, but I'll show you a better one up here.
And there are...
Christian Slater, that was his home.
Okay, so there are like actors, athletes around.
Or very old locals.
Yeah.
They've been here forever. Some of these guys have all been here forever. Their families have lived here, passed it on to them. So they're like Grovies, Grovites. Biscayne Bay down in front of us. Here's one of the very original. This one so a developer bought this thinking he was going to knock it down and build a huge house here, and then the community fought him and they deemed it historic and he had to sell it, renovate it and sell it. But that's kind of what a lot of the older Spanish kind of look was. Because that was what we first had, was old Spanish.
Yeah.
So here is the hotel that's being built, the largest house in Coconut Grove. They own this whole thing.
And no one knows who it is?
No one knows. Yeah. Originally, there was a guy from Venezuela who was going to build that house and then 3 houses for his family and have a compound.
Yeah.
And he sold to a mystery buyer that nobody can find out right now.
Got it.
But I mean, it is, when I tell you a hotel, it's double the size of any home in Coconut Grove. Let me look at that thing.
Yeah. And then he's building...
No, we think he's just going to use that as like a field.
Yeah.
Not build anymore. This is different. He petitioned to get a helicopter pad on the roof.
Well, you need it.
Yeah, you need it. And then, so this is the...
Don't rain on his parade like shit on his helicopter pad.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's...
And then just shoot down there and you get, so you know that's on the water.
Rocket.
So they have a straight water downtown. If you want to go see the view, if it's up to you. 2 seconds. Yeah, cool. I mean, you'll get a better perspective of Miami from there. This is Carrollton, the all-girls, really old school that's the rival with Ransom, kind of a little bit. They have 2 campuses. So back there they have one, and then they have this one here.
How crazy is like drop-off?
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's gonna take you a half an hour to go from where we turn back there to get down to, or even to my office. There's 3 schools here, and they're all same. There's really 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here on this road. This is Campus Game, which has kind of been. This is sort of the billionaires are moving in here, because you walk out your door and you're right in the heart of everything, but nobody knows you're here.
Got it.
And it was literally like a campground back.
Like how many houses are there?
There's probably 30.
Yeah, got it.
They're all getting knocked down and monsters being built. I know of at least 3 billionaires living there right now. That's the cream of the crop, because you have a guard gated, very unassuming. Nobody knows it's there. You walk out your door and you have all the restaurants.
And are these like how a billionaire owns a house there? Is that his primary residence? Is this his?
It's one of their. Let's see. There's 2 in there that are primary residents.
Okay.
1 in there that's not. Probably never comes.
Yeah.
But a bunch of them. 2 of them have their kids in schools. One of them's got their kids right here at St. Stephen's.
Yeah.
They get the real walkability lifestyle. I mean, they have the best of the best in that respect. So if they don't buy houses, they're going to buy and need several buildings.
Yeah.
So this is the newest one that's moving ready is here, the round one. It's called Park Grove. There's 3 towers, but those are the ones facing the water that they're all going to want to be in.
Yeah. And then families will...
There are families move because they're bigger units.
Yeah.
And then these 2 over here, a Grove at Grand Bay. We call them the Twisted Sisters because every floor turns 3 feet.
Okay, got it.
It's architecture won all kinds of awards.
Yeah.
Those are like 5-bedroom. Those are like houses in the sky.
Got it.
4 Seasons is coming here. They knocked this down. They're going to build here.
Are they going to still have the one in Miami?
Yeah, this is residence only, not a hotel.
Okay.
But they're starting at $3,500. They're roughly running $3,500 a foot right now.
Okay.
On pre-construction sale. So this is Pan Am Drive. This is where all the city of Miami's run, right out of this building down here.
Okay.
Which is crazy to imagine that, but it is. It was Pan Am Drive because Pan Am Airlines had their clipper ships here. They would land in the sea and roll right up, and this was their hangar. And the city bought it from them a long time ago.
Is there like any public school people in Coconut Grove that they go to?
I went to Coconut Grove Elementary, it's right
Right.
here. Yeah, I went there, and it's right in the heart of, right next,
Right.
literally that Cocoa Walk I showed you, the public school is right next to it. And it's been there. It's the oldest continuously operated public school in Dade County. The high school, there's some options and magnets. So a lot of people are going to try to get magnets, but here you can get a sense of where we are. There's Brickell downtown.
Yeah.
And this is sort of all of our marinas are up and down here. But yeah, this is, the whole city's run right out of here.
Did you get a sense like the New Yorkers are hanging out among themselves? Are they?
No, I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
I think they try to assimilate. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And, the schools create the communities, a lot of it, right? A lot of them are, that's how, we've got to know some. I have one on my team that, her family, they moved down here, and then we met them at school, and now she works with me.
Got it.
This is all new. Everything you've seen here is recently developed. This huge park over here. And these forward-facing ones are spectacular, right? Straight, unobstructed water views.
How many cycles have you survived and grown through?
It's been probably the 7th cycle. 25 years, yeah. Right now, it's the hardest market we've ever worked in.
Yeah.
When the crash happened, I was just getting started.
Yeah.
But, at least there was inventory to sell.
Yeah.
It was short sales, foreclosures, everything else. In the crash, we had, you could still buy something. Right now, we just don't. We don't. Interest rates are high. Nobody wants to buy that high, and we don't have anything to sell.
Right.
And like I said, healthy market. We should have 200 to 250 homes for sale, and we have about 75, 80 right now.
Okay.
And most of those are either drastically overpriced or need to be developed, basically.
So there's like nothing easy. So if like someone wants to move down
There's
from New York,
no, it's
nothing
not easy. Yeah.
So that's why people are going into.
Yes,
apartments.
exactly. Apartments. Yep. Yeah, there's definitely people living in apartments who wish they could live in a house.
Got it.
We just don't have it. We don't have them, enough of them. And that changed the whole landscape of the apartments because all these apartments pre-COVID were designed for second homes for the most part, or downsizing. And since COVID came, all these people come from the big cities where they're super comfortable raising their families in apartments.
Yeah.
And so they're, I want the amenities, I want the doorman, I want everything. Some of them were like, we heard Miami's scary, so we want safety.
Right.
And that just gave new life to everything that you see here.
And so
this is
combined
stretch,
units.
right?
And,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.